Hi guys, Steve Porter, Camp Director here, and today I wanted to get on and show you a little bit more about our reservation system that we'll be using for summer camp this year. Today I'd like to go over how to basically update your roster or start adding people into your roster on your online account. So here it goes. If you come up to our webpage, you'll go to www.psrweb.org like normal. You're going to click where you normally log in over here. And you're going to log into your account. I'm going to be using one of our setup accounts, and you'll log in. We already talked a little bit about managing your profile. If you want to look at that, you can look at the previous video. But today we're going to talk a little bit about our group. So once you log in, you'll see your home screen right here like normal, and you're going to click over here on Manage My Group. Once you click on this, it'll bring up your group for your account. So the group is basically a list of people, youth and adults, that you can sign up for any of the events or facilities that are offered through Erie Shores Council. So when you put somebody in your roster, it's just adding them to that list so you can pull from it later. It's not signing them up for anything, it's just simply adding them to a generic roster connected to your account so you have that information available when you're ready to register for camp. As you can see, we already have one person signed up here on the roster. That's Daniel Powell. We don't have any adults here yet. So today, let's go over a few things. Why don't we add an adult onto our roster? So I'm going to click here to add people. And we're going to add someone. As you can see, there are all the fields here that you can fill out. Some of them say optional next to them. The fields are optional when you sign them up here, but when you do register for camp, it may require some of the optional fields before you can go forward, so sometimes it's easier to put that stuff in right now. For the adult leaders, what I'll do is I'll put a name in. So we're going to sign up, we're going to do Susan Boyce today. Date of birth is optional. It's not required for summer camp for leaders, but date of birth is required for scouts when signing them up for summer camp. So keep that in mind that you want to put a date of birth in for your scouts, but not necessarily your leaders. But gender is something that is required for both leaders and scouts at summer camp, even though it's an optional field here. So I'm going to select the gender here. Information down here is all optional and not required for summer camp. You can choose to put this in if you want to keep track of your adult leaders in your troop, but it's something that you can put in there by choice, not necessarily required for summer camp registration. We do require, though, a BSID for summer camp registration, so since that is required, I'm going to just put it in here now. I'm just going to put in a number for registration, and now that I got everything filled out that I know I need for summer camp, I'm going to hit complete. And as you can see, now Susan's on our register for our adults. I can add a youth if I want to, add another youth by clicking here. Same as the adults, I can add one, we'll put in John Boyce. Like I said, date of birth is optional right now, but it's going to require it later on, so I'm just going to put it in right now so it's already done and taken care of to move faster through registration. So we're going to put in a date of birth here, let's say March 19th of 2005. And we're going to select a gender as well, because that is required for summer camp registration. Grade is optional, not required for summer camp registration, so we don't necessarily need to put one in there, but if you wanted to, you could. Another thing that we want to make sure we look at is the photography checkbox. We do a photography release on our medical forms in a paper form, but we also have this one online. So make sure that that box is checked to allow photography, so that way it shows up on our roster when we print it out on our digital side of things. Not requiring any contact info or BSA ID or rank for the youth, but you can put that stuff in if you'd like to. The rank's not necessary for summer camp registration, but the date of birth is. We're requiring some scouts to be of a certain age for certain merit badges, and that's going to be calculated off the date of birth. So make sure that that's included when you register them for camp. We're going to hit complete, and as you can see, Daniel's now on our list as well. If there's any ones that you want to delete, you can go and click on the actual name, and you can go down to the bottom and hit delete, and it'll say, are you sure you want to? And you hit remove, And as you can see, now it's in gray and there's a little restore button next to it. Now if I were to refresh my browser, you'll see that the list comes up now and John's name is no longer listed there. If I want to get that back, I can undelete it at any time. I just click this button up here in the corner that says Show Deleted. And you can see any names that have ever been on your list in the history of your list that have been deleted. As you can see, we had another leader, Tom Powell, who was already on there but had been deleted. If you want to bring him back, all you have to simply do is click Restore, and it'll bring it back to your list. And then they're back on your main roster. You can put as many people on here. You don't necessarily have to delete people when they leave your troop. You can leave them on, but sometimes it's easier just to look at the names of the people who are registered. So you can delete those if you'd like to, but if for some reason they come back, you can always click Show Deleted and restore them. You don't have to re-put them in on your roster. So that's your roster. Keep in mind that you're going to want to make sure, again, that you have all the information listed that's required for summer camp, so it's a smoother process when you sign up for badges later on. And that information is the date of birth, the gender for the scouts, and then for adults, it's the date of birth, I'm sorry, not date of birth, it's the gender, it's the BSA ID, and then later on it will ask one more thing that's not included on here, and that is the youth protection dates when you're signing them up for camp. So make sure that you have those ready on a side piece of paper or something when you're registering adults for camp, their youth protection training dates. Other than that, that's pretty much everything, as you can see, that I was doing here. You can simply click on names if you want to update anything. So if you have some sort of information that you want to update, you can make any of those changes. Just make sure that you hit Save Changes. For example, if I wanted to add a grade here for John Boyce, I could add one, and then I could just hit Save Changes, and now it's in the system. Person has been saved. Go back to your home screen if you need to, and that takes you back to the main area. And other than that, as always, just log out when you're finished using it. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Hopefully now you feel a little bit more comfortable updating your roster. Going to have some more videos coming your way shortly with more information about registration and paying for scouts for summer camp. If you do have any questions at all about the information you just saw, please feel free to email me at campdirector@psrweb.org. I'll put that up on the screen before the video is over. And also, if you haven't logged into your account yet and you need to do that, check out our video about logging into your account and updating your account information, which was on the same page as this one. And that'll get you some information on getting your account information up to date. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.